Hello, I'm Vivian Pickles. I made the video with Michael. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Vivian, lovely to see you in your home today.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to start with the 25 quickfire questions under the title of What Happened To?
Oh my goodness.
So let's start with question number 1. What is your full name given at birth?
Oh, my full name, Vivian K. Pickles.
When is your birthday and the year of your birth?
Yes. October 21, my birthday. And I'm 90. Oh God, I'll be 94.
So 21st of October 1931.
Like yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, because when I was 93, I thought, oh God, I couldn't remember that. And then I thought, no, I'm losing memory. 92, I was all right. And 93, it'll be worse. It'll be memory loss. Another year, and I think, oh God, I don't want another year. Oh God, I'll be too old.
If any, how many brothers or sisters did you have growing up?
Growing up, I was the middle one. My elder sister, 2 years older, and then me, and then my Brenda, my younger sister, she was another 2 years old. So we were 2 years. And my father wanted another child because he wanted a boy, and but he didn't get one. But he would have liked Gordon Costello. He would have loved. By the time I got married, I'd already grown up as auntie to the 2 sisters, and I did a lot of auntying until near the end, and then I was married. But I'd been an auntie to 3 people who had wonderful children, and I came babysitting.
What is your earliest memory of going to the cinema or the theatre?
Oh, always going to the theatre was a great treat. It was a great treat. And you looked forward to, in front of you was glasses. You could roll them up and put them on. And it was wonderful. But I'd taken my own glasses. I could use either, which was better. And it was lovely. It was a good treat. And we always went to the pantomime. My father loved the pantos. He'd always take us to the pantomime. Because he'd go quite often to the musicals at that same theatre where they always had musicals. But no, it was lovely.
Growing up, did you have a favourite actor or actress whose work you really admired?
Oh yes, Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh. Yes, I thought, oh goodness. No, I think Laurence Olivier.
Fantastic. Yeah. Now, you obviously started your acting career as a child, and I'm not sure whether you thought it was going to be something that you'd do for the duration of your working life. But was there an actual event or trigger that first prompted you to seriously consider acting as a profession, and how old were you at that time?
Oh, at school, I always adored the English lesson when we were going into a play. We're going into anything and acting it. The English lessons were wonderful. and I always got into them, acting them really. Shakespeare was a boon, because I played Puck, and I loved playing Puck. It was just my cup of tea. And from that I must have got into theatre.
Vivian, did you ever attend a stage school or audition, study or formally train to be an actress or a dancer anywhere?
Yes, Ada Foster. I went for dancing Saturday morning and I loved it. But I found that as I'm dancing, I'm acting, and I thought, well, I like the acting bit. I like acting whatever I'm feeling in the dance. And I found I was good at it. You know, like I'd either be marching or showing off what I was supposed to be doing. And I really realised I think I should go to acting, and instead of dancing, I'd better be acting. And I loved the acting. But how did I get into an acting school? I don't know how I did it, because my father didn't think I was good at acting. I should be doing my lessons. And you didn't leave school when you were that age. It's very difficult.
Where were you living then?
In East Finchley we lived as children.
Oh, right, so that makes sense, because I wondered, Ada Foster's is up in Golders Green area, so you were living fairly local.
Yes, you were on the bus to Golders Green. Oh my God.
What was your first ever paid acting performance, i.e. your professional debut, and how old were you?
Well, it would have been the Saturday morning films, and I was terribly pleased to be picked by that lady for the Saturday morning films. And she ran them. She ran those films.
Mary Field?
Mary Field, yeah. She was in charge of them, and she wanted me for her film. She covered a film, and she wanted that girl. And from the theatre I went to the films. Gosh. I started as a youngster. I started Alice in Wonderland. I mean, I started terribly young. And then I went into theatre, and I went in, I did do radio. Oh, my goodness me. Then I went from little bits of things. The same director who liked me and what I'd done asked me if I'd do Alice in Wonderland. God, it was amazing. It was amazing doing Alice in Wonderland, because we had to go to Alexandra Palace. There was no studio, and we used Alexandra Palace with all different rooms, and they had a boy like a stage boy who'd show you, it's scene 2 now, Vivian, go to that studio, and he'd lead me in the dark to whichever room I had to go and film in. What are we in now? Picking out these rooms, going up a long corridor in Alexandra Palace. I don't know when they finished the real studio. They were building it. It was terribly difficult, but it was exciting. You were given a lift into the Colosseum, and the Colosseum was enormous. And you go down a long corridor. It's enormous. And they were building the theatre, television theatre, and we couldn't remember what it would be like, but it was trying to be like a film studio. So it must have been, and they got terribly exciting when they were asked to make a film that had a cloud in it, and how they could make the cloud, and little things that they'd never done before as cameramen. We've got it. I think it was amazing, and the cameramen were all, that they could do this in the Colosseum, and it was lovely. They were in a new period. It was just lovely. I got out of it going abroad. At the age of 15 or 16, you are expected to move forward, and you get sent to a French finishing school. They put me in a French... When my mother died, my father didn't want me to be an actress. He died 2 years before her. And I thought, well, then their uncle came over, and then he chose to get me in a French finishing school. I did a French finishing school, and they were the only ones I could talk to were the Americans, and they were all practicing French, sent to speak French, and they all talked American. Oh dear. Well, I learnt a bit of French, came back through Spain, I don't know. And then I went out to Africa. I was a year in Africa, and then I joined the Donovan Mall theatre group. That's what I did, because there was a theatre called Donovan Mall, and Donovan Mall ran a little theatre club, nightclub, in Nairobi. And I joined that, I remember. Oh my God. Do you know, I've forgotten I joined the club. Oh my God.
Now, obviously, you started your acting career early.
Yes.
And then you went into your adult career. Either before you began your adult acting career, or maybe when you were between roles at any time in your career, what other non-acting jobs have you ever done?
Oh, lots of them. Through, you offer yourself up as a carer or as a nurse to children. You go in like a nanny, and you enjoy doing that. And that was quite good money. I can't remember what it was, but it was necessary. And you put yourself on the agent's book, babysitting, and there's always lots of babysitting jobs, because they always wanted to go out when they had children and get to a theatre and do cinema or anything. And it was easy to get work as a nanny, and easy to get work as a babysitter. You had sort of favourite people that you could use to make your money. I don't think I did a job that wasn't for that. I mean, I don't know if I did a job for anything else.
Can you remember how old you were, or what production you were working on, when somebody first asked you for your autograph?
No. I did stop coming out of a film I'd done, and somebody on the pavement, and Gordon was my husband, was terribly cross. Why are you stopping signing your autograph? Well, they asked me for my signature. Well, you shouldn't be stopping here. He was furious for stopping. you know, oh, it was terrible.
And did you put much thought into the construction of your autograph? Did you practice it much as a young actress or not?
No, I just did an ordinary autograph signature, best wishes, Vivian Pickles, and the date.
At any point in your life or your career, have you ever been starstruck when meeting someone famous? And have you ever asked anyone for an autograph?
No. Oh, yes, we had autograph books. That's right, we had a slim autograph book. And I filled it up whenever I went anywhere near, wherever any actors were. I would always get them to sign the signature.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, throughout your career, were you ever one for collecting any memorabilia? And what, if anything, do you have in your possession still today?
Harry, he has got wonderful photos. He has got wonderful photos. Thank God he saved them. I didn't know he'd kept them in such a decent state. I don't know where my photograph was, but he found my sister's photograph album, and he found her photo album in there, really. And Harry kept them perfectly. That's good.
To perform in, what would you choose? Theatre, television, cinema or radio? And what would you give for your answer as the reasons?
Oh, I think filming, because it's safe. Filming, it's you've got time to learn it, you've got time to do it. I think I do enjoy acting, but I think theatre's difficult. God, I don't know, but I'd say filming is better, and you've got much more help, and it takes longer, and you're sure of what you're doing, and having makeup room is wonderful. You know, they're helpful. They're helpful.
Which of your parts, performances or characters would you say people remember you for the most?
Oh, Isadora Duncan, Ken Russell.
Whether it be for what you did on stage or screen, can you name any of your own individual performance or performances that you are personally the most proudest of?
Isadora, Pride and Prejudice.
Fantastic.
When I did Isadora, I kept thinking of a woman called Elizabeth Furse who ran the bistro opposite the Royal Court Theatre. And she was always in the kind of things she said was terribly Isadora Duncan. I thought I'd pretend I'm Elizabeth Furse.
Now, I'm sure you did many auditions.
Oh.
But was there one audition that you still remember today that you auditioned for, really wanted, but you didn't get? It went to somebody else.
There must have been, but I don't remember them. There must have been.
And was there, maybe due to filming commitments or you may be working elsewhere, can you ever remember turning down a part and again regretted the decision later?
Oh no. I know I would never. That never happened. I always wanted the part. I mean, if they offered it to me and went to audition, yes, because some days you don't hear back from them. You ring your agent and nothing's happened, so it goes back to your agent, and you ring them up. Has anything happened? No. And you just hope another job comes up. I don't know. I wonder if there are more people going for jobs now. I mean, I don't go for them anymore. But I wonder if they do. God. I wonder that if there are more actors now than there were in my day.
So from your long career, Vivian, can you name a co-star that you particularly liked working with?
Yes, Leo McCann, but I only worked with him once. He was so funny. He was perfect. Everything he did was gorgeous, but he lived up. His friend, Nigel Stock, he was always going on to something with Nigel Stock after the play finished. And they often come down and said, "Hi, Viv," or "Hi, Jill," my sister. And they give them a cup of tea and then off they go.
Pitch O'Toole?
Yes, he was lovely. He was lovely. But when we had dinner, we had our dinner opposite each other and on a long table in the canteen, and he thought I talked to him. And I don't know, we were very chatty and happy, and he just wanted to be serious, Peter O'Toole. Oh dear. But no. Yeah.
What about the traverse of that, Vivian? Was there any that you didn't like working with?
Well, I'm sure there was, but I wouldn't like to mention them.
Rather than asking you who your favourite director is or was, I'll ask it in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
What does a director need to do to get the best performance out of Vivian Pickles?
Gosh. I think let her read the script. Let her have the script early. I mean, no, I'm happy to take notes.
So a bit of a left field one for you, Vivian. You're hosting an intimate dinner party and you can invite 3 people to attend with you. Mm-hmm. Who would you choose?
3 people?
Yes.
Gordon Gostelow, Ken Russell, Paul Sutton.
If you could relive one moment from your career, maybe it was a production or a particular company or a particular time of your life, what period would you relive?
Would I remake?
Yeah. When was you the most happiest?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Tell us something about you or your career that most people would not already know. Maybe do you have any passions or hobbies or pastimes?
I ran a workshop for theatre and writing and acting. I wanted to get them all 3 drama students, radio student, and then all 3 together. But nobody would know that.
Perfect. So when you think about your career, when you look back, you could have done a million things.
Yes.
At the age of 93, and you look back, what do you think about the career overall?
Oh, I think it was good. I think it was a good career. I'm lucky. I'm really lucky, and I'm happy that I'm lucky because I've had a good life and a lovely career, and I'm proud of it. I'm happy. No, I'm happy.
So bringing us up to the present day, Vivian, finish the sentence. Whatever happened to the actress Vivian Pickles?
I'm retired.
Yeah?
I'm 93.
Yeah?
And I'm retired. I can't bear to think I'm going to be any older. But no, I'm happy and I love watching television. It's my favourite item. I love it. And I have tea and biscuits. It's wonderful. Oh, it's lovely.
So, Vivian Pickles, thank you very much.
Michael, bless you.